When you have some kind of building, it usually has some kind of door. So if you've added a door to your game world, you will need to animate it in order for it to be able to open or close. I've got this door here, and if I was to run the game, I wouldn't be able to walk through the door and I wouldn't be able to open the door. To do that, to make it so that I can open the door, I'm going to need to add a little bit of interactivity to my game. Firstly, I'm going to navigate to the library and then go to the community tab. In here, I'm going to look for playing scripts by AdamO. I'm going to install those and then close the library. Now I'm going to interact with the door by pressing E on the keyboard, and this will bring up the entity editor. I need to add a component to this, so I'm going to click the Add to Entity button at the bottom of the entity editor. I'm going to add a script, and the script that I'm looking for is the playAnimationScript. The first animation for a door is the opening animation, and the second animation for a door is the closing animation. Once I've added these two words into first and second animation respectively, I also need to hook up the OnInteract method. So these little boxes here with the plus and the new binding are our way to hook up specific functionality that might exist in a script with some kind of in-game event, like a player interacting with a door. So to run the first animation, I need to select new binding on the OnInteract event. I then need to add my door to this entity box here. So I just type in the name of the door, which I can see up here is Diner Front Door 2. So I'm going to select that from the world tree, and it will pre-fill the script with playAnimationScript because that's the only component that's available on this door mesh. Finally, the event that I want to hook it up to is toggle. I could select play first animation, but that would mean that every time I interacted with the door, it would only play the first animation, which is opening the door. Second animation was closing the door. So similarly, every time I interact with the door, it would only play the closing animation, and it would never play the opening animation. If I select toggle, when I interact with the door the first time, it will open it. When I interact with the door the second time, it will close it. And it will switch between open and closed. It will switch between playing first animation and then second animation and then back to first animation. Let's try this out. I'm going to preview the game by pressing F5. And it's spawned me in the disco. So let's run around here. I'm going to find the door that I've just been working on. So here's my door. I'm going to interact with it with E. And that opens the door. I can then walk inside, interact with it again, and that closes the door. And that's how to add opening and closing animations to your door so people can walk through the doors in your game world.